Tonight, tensions high across the country. Police pinning protesters down in New York City, arresting 10 people on Staten Island, many outraged over the influx of migrants into the city. From New York to Illinois to Arizona, states overwhelmed, buses arriving daily. In San Diego County, Border Patrol forced to release about 4,000 migrants in just the past week. Processing centers and shelters filled to capacity. Many dropped off at places like this bus stop. Local officials frustrated, demanding action in Washington.
You're pissing the New Yorkers off, and it's hard to feel sorry for them because the mayor said it's a sanctuary city and they still voted for him. So it's hard to feel bad for him. Before we dive into this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you guys could please share. Then do you guys hear about what's going on? San Diego County, so overfilled that we're just going to release 3,000 to 4,000 of them just onto the streets. Just go ahead. There's nowhere to put you guys. I've been in places where I've been in a basketball arena where I'm sure there's thousands and thousands of people. Could you imagine, say we'll keep it right in the middle, 3,500 people just out in the streets? Just go wherever, we don't know, just find somewhere to go. What do they think is going to end up happening with this situation? And it's getting worse.
Down the border in Texas, new drone video showing a crush of migrants crossing the Rio Grande River into Eagle Pass, where today officials declared a state of emergency. And hundreds more are coming. Migrants today on top of this freight train, riding for miles to Ciudad Juarez, just across the border from El Paso. Braving the danger just one day after Mexican authorities temporarily suspended train operations after several migrant deaths.
So you can see right there just a steady flow. They're just crossing right over the river. They're hopping on these trains, hundreds of them just riding the trains, thousands on feet, crossing through the water. A total and complete invasion that has no signs of letting up whatsoever. Even had to freeze the train for a little while because multiple of them are dying. I'm sure trying to get on the train, maybe missing, maybe even getting run over by it. All hell is breaking loose. Mind you, remember the ones that were inside of the semi-truck? I think this was like last year. They were inside the semi-truck and they died of heat exhaustion trying to sneak them over. And that was a lot of them. I think around like 50 or maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. So all hell is breaking loose and nothing is being done about it. It's a good thing that, say, Greg Abbott, right? You're sending them off to New York and Chicago, LA, all these other places. But at the same time, you should have the National Guard there guarding the Texas. They have their National Guard guarding the border, not letting any of this happen. Then we'll fight it out in court with the Biden administration and all this BS. You cannot allow this to keep happening. The dam is already broken and it's flowing on through. And you get to see, what is Joe doing? What's Biden doing? Oh, I'm just going to give work permits, or he tried to say temporary work permits, to over 450,000 of these people that are illegal, right? I thought that there was a process, a merit-based system to like where you applied, you had to go through all these checks and balances and all that, then you can get citizenship, then you can work. Bump that. We're just fast forwarding this whole process and we're just going to allow you just to come on in and we're just going to give you a work permit. Now, what does that do on the back end? That rings the dinner bell to have everybody come on through.
What I would do as president is several more things, because things have changed. I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
And it's astonishing, these weak people in Washington, D.C. that are allowing this to happen. You're having this government shutdown situation. We're not doing anything. Ukraine's not getting a penny. They're more concerned about over there than here. They can completely see what's going on, and I'll get to that at the very end, what all this is about. But at the end of the day, I looked up the definition of treason, right? Of treason. And what does it basically come down to? Betraying your own country. Isn't that what's happening right now? Isn't that clear as day what's happening? These people being able just to come on in unchecked. That's what you got to see in San Diego County. We're just letting them out. There's nothing we can do. We're overcrowded. There's no checks and balances. Yeah, of course, there's some people that want to come over work and, you know what I'm saying, they're going to be on the straight and narrow path, as they would say. You don't know how many of these people can't stand this country, or these people that are criminals are just gonna just wreak complete havoc, bringing in drugs, all this. None of that stuff's ever discussed. So you mean out of those 4,000 people, they're all just stand-up citizens. They're all so amazing.
Hush up, boy.
And then these ones that you want to give the work permits to. What kind of world do they think that this is? Or they're just going to wake up every morning, okay, we're going to go to work, we're going to come home. Where are you going to have them stay at? How are they getting back and forth? What about their kids in school? You already see they're overwhelming the New York school system. This is completely out of hand, but it's by design. They want it this way. And then on top of that, you have the Pennsylvania governor, this Josh Shapiro, this clown, this little dude with his glasses, talking about, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to have automatic voter registration now. As soon as you get a new driver's license or a renew, or you get an identification card, you're just automatically enrolled. Don't worry about it. If you don't want to be enrolled, you have to opt out of it at the end. Who wants this? What are you talking about? So now anybody that just gets an identification card is automatically enrolled into the voter registration unless they opt out. You can see how all this stuff is going and what these people, and I have to give it to them. At least the Democrats tell you what they're going to do. We're going to do this with the Supreme Court. We're going to put all these people in here, and then we're just getting rid of all this stuff. We're getting rid of the Second Amendment. We're just getting rid of the filibuster. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make Washington, D.C., we're going to make it a state. This is what we're going to do. So at the end of the day, they're not hiding it. None of this stuff is being done in the cover of night. They're showing you exactly what they want to do. And there seems to be zero resistance. That lets you know that people on the other side or that side are completely compromised. It's a damn shame.
I am asking that they trust the government.
And then just to touch on New York for a hot second, you see that the residents are getting pissed. They're trying to stop the buses from coming in. They're getting arrested. Oh, it's kind of interesting. Now you want to arrest people. They don't arrest all these people that push people in front of the subway and all that, but we'll arrest the people that are over here protesting, just trying to somewhat save the city. But once again, I'll clarify, it's hard to feel sorry for them when they voted for this. But then they're taking senior citizen homes, and now they're putting the illegals in there. And now they're out there protesting about that. So hold on. So now you're just putting them everywhere. Then what are you going to do with the next busload and the busload after that? They're putting up all these like fairgrounds, almost like circus tents, to put all these people in. And if you look at the crowd of people, what are you seeing? They're all like middle-aged male adults. You see very few women. You see very few kids. Majority of them are middle-aged young male adults. So what is that all about? And then what do you think? They're getting the 3 square meals a day. They're getting food assistance and all this stuff on top of it. Plus the cell phones. Who do you think's paying for that? Who do you think is picking up that bill? Oh, the American taxpayer. This cannot go on this way. And then to make matters worse, they end up busting this house. They come up on this house, and doesn't it look nice from the outside? Doesn't look like nothing's going on. Oh, but in further investigation, this house had 30 people in it, had kids sleeping on mattresses inside the garage. Upstairs, they said there was extension cords everywhere, that they're surprised the house didn't have an electrical fire and burn up. How many of those 30 people you think would have got out safely? This is insane. All these people completely undocumented living in this one home, and then they're trying to trace the owner and he didn't answer the door when they went. No, hold on. Who is authorizing this? And do you think this is the only home in New York that it's going down like this? You don't think the same things happening in California, in Chicago, in Texas, El Paso? What in the world is going on? And then some people will sit back and they will say, well, why would this be allowed to happen, right? And some people say, you know what, maybe they really do care about the people. They want them to have a better life. If that was the case, you wouldn't have the homeless on the street. You have veterans, you have some people with serious problems, but not all these people are drug addicts that are out on the street. So they don't care about making life any better. Oh, they just want to do this stuff so they can end up just ruling everything. And they They already pretty much do that. You already see that through social media. You see that through the media. You see that through all these crazy blue states, how they're able to manipulate this stuff. You see it in the Senate. Can it get much worse than what you're seeing today? So they pretty much already run everything. So it has to be the last option. They are fundamentally trying to bring this country to its knees, to completely change what America stands for and what it's all about. Because that's what you're seeing. That's why all this is being done and it's left unchecked. Remember when the migrants, right, when the illegals were taken up to Martha's Vineyard, right? Very expensive place, very expensive island, right? All secluded. What happened? They had them out of there within 2 days, put them on a ferry and sent them about their merry way and pretended to cry and wave to them and all that. So all of this won't affect these people. These people that are multimillionaires, billionaires, and senators, the people in the House of Representatives, all these people, they won't have to worry about this. They'll have security. They'll be ushered away. This will never go on their block. But they have no problem at going and infecting the communities in all of these other surrounding cities. It's about fundamentally destroying what America's about. That they want to fundamentally change this country. Why do you think this country is so sought after? Because all the other countries are ran with communist dictatorships. People want to flee these places. They want to come to America for what it represents. But the people at the top of the totem pole, the people behind the curtain, they can't stand what this country stands for. So now we want to fundamentally change it so we can bring it down with the rest. That's the only conclusion that you can draw from when you see them just letting an invasion happen and people are just twiddling their thumbs and allowing it to take place.
Who are these sick people?
For all the god awful things that are happening to the children and all that throughout all this, that's a very big thing that's completely being ignored. So at the end, that's what I truly believe that this is all about. And people will look back on this time from 2020 to 2024 and however this whole situation goes down and say that was the beginning of the end for this country.
Our country is going to hell.
So let me know your guys' thoughts about this out of control situation. Should it just keep going the way it's going? Just come on, let's just keep letting it go. Let's keep ringing the dinner bell. We got 470,000 work permits coming to you. You can stay up in the Ritz-Carlton, all these high-rise hotels. We're feeding you 3 times a day. We have Xboxes. We have all this stuff set up. So now if I'm overseas, I'm in Africa or whatever, and I have some kind of TV where I can see this, I'm like, man, hell yeah, I'm on my way right now.
You should come.
So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts if you guys had a way to completely stop this and deal with the people that are already here, which the number I'm sure is astronomical. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you guys could please share so we can get it out there. And I will catch you guys on the next one.